Hi everyone, I'm Anlei. Today we will learn the character Wang and the Yu. And I will tell you something about the Chinese jade culture. I use different colors to symbolize the different characters, so you can better understand the evolution of Chinese characters. Red color is the archibald inscription, golden color is the bronze inscription, green color is small script, black color is the yellow edges traditional character, black color is simplified character. Okay, let's get started. These two characters looks very similar. This one is a Wang Wang, it means king. The other one is Yu, means jade. At one dot at the capital Wang, it's Yu. The archibald inscription is originated from axe. In the Stone Age, the caveman make a stone axe as a tool. During the Bronze Age, people make a bronze axe as a tool and a weapon. This bronze axe is obviously not a tool. The ancient bronze axe initially served as a weapon, and later evolved into a symbol of military authority for tribal leaders and kings. So the archibald inscription, the character looks like an axe. A bronze inscription is more vivid. Small script becomes three horizontal strokes and one vertical stroke. Next, let's take a look at the character Yu. Archibald inscription, the characters look like a string of jade pendant. Ancient Chinese people believed that jade could preserve the crops from decay, so jade objects were buried as funeral items in the tombs of kings and nobles. Actually, the bronze axe and the jade pendant were all excavated from ancient tombs. Bronze inscription is a three horizontal stroke and one vertical stroke. Like the small script of the character Wang and Yu are interchangeable. Small script looks like two pieces of jade beside the character Wang. Later, just put one dot beside the Wang. Since the ancient writing, Wang and Yu are interchangeable, so when the character Wang is radical, we call it a Wang Zipang, king radical. It refers to jade. If you find a Chinese given name, there's a king radical on the left side. That means that this is a character related to the beautiful jade. I'm afraid that only the Chinese people have such a deep and enduring passion for jade in the whole world. Wang, Wang, king, surname. Chinese people believe that a tiger is the king of the beast because the patterns on his forehead happen to resemble the Chinese character Wang, king. This character is Yu, jade. Initially, the jade means a beautiful stone. This is a piece of jade carving collected in the Forbidden City. The raw material is a jade tribute from Xinjiang. After craftsmen extracted the finest part to make a jade bowl, other jade carver cleverly created this jade carving using the remaining leftover material. In the previous video, we have learned the character Fu. The bronze inscription on the top is a roof radical. Under the roof, there's a character Wang, refers jade. On the right is a wine urn, and under it is a character Shi, refers the offering table. So during the sacrifice, the offering is a jade and a wine. There's one kind of saying, jade is the food of God, and the wine is his drink. About over 5,000 years ago, there existed a civilization in some areas of northeastern China. We call them a Hongshan culture. People discovered a C-shaped jade dragon, known as the first dragon of China, as well as the jade peak dragons. There's also a three-tiered circular stone altar, and the head of a goddess statue was found at the temple site. More than 3,000 years ago, the Liangshu culture was discovered in the lower reaches of the Yangtze River. Jade Bi, Yu Bi, and Jade Cong, Yu Cong are very distinctive. In ancient times, our ancestors used jade objects to worship the god. The jade Bi was used to worship the heaven, and the jade Cong was used to worship the earth. Based on the concept, heaven is round, earth is square, so jade Bi looks like a cookie. Where did the jade come from? Ancient books recorded that jade comes from the Kunlun Mountains. Stretching across the western China, the Kunlun Mountains are where the immortals lived, and also the original source of jade, and this is the jade mine. In 141 BC, Emperor Wudi of the Han Dynasty sent Zhang Qian on the two missions to the western regions, breaking isolation between China and the western regions. Later, he dispatched the troops to defeat the Xiongnu forces, and in 60 BC, the Han Dynasty gained control of the western regions. The jade from the Kunlun Mountains began to be transported to the capital. The Jade Road, which connected the western regions and the central plains, was an early trade route that laid the foundation for the Silk Road. In China's ancient civilizations, jade was used as a sacrifice for worshipping gods and the spirit, and also served as a medium to communicate with heaven and earth. Entering the imperial era, jade also became a symbol of royal power. Emperors and nobles, after their deaths, would be dressed in clothes made of jade pieces connected with a gold thread, just like armor, intended to preserve their corpse from decay. In reality, jade has no preservative function, but the ancient people's obsession with jade made them turn a blind eye to this fact. Effective control over the western regions not only provided a stable supply of jade to the Central Plain, but also became a direct symbol of China's realization of a strong unification. This jade culture was passed down by different dynasties during the feudal dynasties, even by non-Han regimes. This huge one arm carved from jade is a rare relic of the Yuan dynasty in Beijing. A huge piece of jade raw materials come from the western region and weighs 3,500 kilograms, and is now preserved in the Beihai Park adjacent to Forbidden City. In 1265, Kublai Khan held a grand feast for his ministers using this huge jade carving wine vessel. After the fall of the Ming Dynasty in 1644, the Qing Dynasty, founded by the Manchu ethnic groups, ruled China. Between 1755 and 1759, Emperor Qianlong suppressed the rebellions in the western regions twice. In 1762, he established the Yili General Post, bringing the western regions under a direct and stable jurisdiction of the central government. Later, the Qing dynasty gradually refers this region as Xinjiang. It doesn't mean new territory, which means the old territory returns to the motherland. So that's the reason why we call it Xinjiang. After the Qing dynasty gained the full control over the Xinjiang region, and a steady stream of jade were continuously transported to Beijing. Thousands of people participated in the jade mining each year. Tens of thousands of kilos of Hetian jade were tributed annually, providing sufficient raw materials for the production of the core jadeware. Emperor Qianlong was obsessed with the Hetian jade. He also had a Hetian jade carved into the imperial seals, serving as symbols of imperial power. This huge piece of jade carving is called Yu the Great taming the flood. It weighs about 5 tons and 2.2 meters high. The raw material jade was quarried from Xinjiang and transported all the way to Beijing, and through Grand Canal shipped to South China Yangzhou because the best craftsman was in South China. After they finished carving, transported back to Beijing, altogether took 10 years. It's a masterpiece of a Qianlong era craftsmanship, depicts the legendary hero's efforts to control flood. There's an old Chinese saying, 黄金有价, 玉无价. Gold has a fixed price, but jade is priceless. Even today, Hetian jade remains extremely expensive. Its resources are scarcer than gold, and its mining is more difficult. Although Russia had jade resources, the jade quality cannot compare with the jade from Hetian, Xinjiang. Why does jade hold an unshakable position in China? The deeper reason lies in the jade culture. The so-called jade is a beautiful stone. In Confucianism, gentlemen have 5 noble virtues: benevolence, righteousness, wisdom, courage, and purity. Corresponding to these virtues are the jade's 5 characteristics. It is smooth and lustrous in texture, consistent in inner and outer qualities, produces a clear sound when struck, is not easily damaged, and has smooth fractures that will not hurt others. Even the Yuan dynasty and the Qing dynasty was ruled by the Mongolians and the Manchurians, but the emperors needed Confucianism to rule the country, especially the Qing dynasty. The emperor emphasized the Confucian education on the younger generations. So the Emperor Qianlong's obsession with jade also symbolized the powerful appeal of Chinese culture. This character is Yu, jade, and this character is Mian. As radical, we call it Bao Gai Tou, roof radical. Under the roof radical, there's a jade. What's this character? Let's take a look at our archival inscription first. Under the roof, there's a one character. And what does this mean? And below it is the character Bei. It refers money. So this character is a container. It means a money box. A bronze inscription under the roof, there's a piece of jade, and there's an adult and a baby. So this means both the children and adults in the family are as precious as jade. Small script and the traditional character are similar. Under the roof, there's a character Wang, refers jade. On the right, this is character Fo, it means container. On the bottom, it's the character Bei, refers money. This character means the jade and the money put into the safe in the house, that is the treasure. The simplified character under the roof is a piece of jade, 宝, 宝宝, treasure, jewel, precious, rare. And this is a Palace Museum in Taipei, and this is a Palace Museum in Beijing. Under the traditional roof, there's a jade inside, 宝贝, 宝宝, boy bei, treasure, 宝宝 or 宝宝, that means a baby, because a baby is a treasure of parents. 宝玉, 宝宝, Yu, precious jade. Jia Baoyu is also a main character in the Dream of Red Mansion, a classic Chinese literary masterpiece. According to the legend in the book, he was born with a piece of jade in his mouth, hence the name Jia Baoyu. Bei Bao, PayPal, translated to Chinese is Bei Bao, Boy Bei, Bao Bao. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye.